Pow, there we go. So the trap in Tloques' room on the door here that had the sleep potion things, I retconned it so that in addition to actually hitting Sereth, it had an effect on you as well, so you kept fading in and out of consciousness, which explains why your character was able to cast haste at one point and then fell back asleep. But so basically, they went in the room, opened the tomb. The tomb had a corpse in it. It rose from corpsitude into personitude, got out of the coffin, started talking for a little while. Let everybody know that this temple is very old, that the guy, Tloques Popolocas, was a servant of, or is a servant of, Zotzilaha, which nobody recognized. And then eventually, as he was requesting blood in exchange for antidote to the sleeping gas, Daminar shot him with a whole bunch of key blasts, and fighting ensued. As he was starting to get worn down, a shroud of darkness kind of covered the entire back wall of the room, sucked him into it. There were some very disgusting sounds. The darkness lifted, and Tloques is gone. His axe is back in the wall, and everybody looted. And I put a big list of what all the loot was in, I think it's all in the recap, and it's also linked to the wiki page because there was a crap ton of loot in there. But the key items were bracers of defense, a ring of protection, a ring of animal influence, the battle axe of Tloques Popolocas, and then a whole bunch of mundane items worth a bunch of gold. So that's kind of where we sit. Hi, Sebastian. Undead? Are you positing that the vampire is not re-dead? And I'm just going to maybe hide Kellic and Daminar down there until either of them shows up. Cool. So does anybody want to do anything in this room? Does anybody else need more recap of anything? You don't know what happened to him. You were fighting him, and he was starting to look real rough, and then where the axe is embedded in the wall again, basically his axe flew back, and he went with it into a shroud of darkness, and basically you heard a scream, a variety of very unsavory squelching and cracking sounds, and when the darkness lifted, there was the axe back in the wall. There is no body by the wall, just the axe. So what are you trying to Arcana check? So say you get a lingering feeling of both necromantic and transmutation magic. Um, Beyond that, you're in the middle of a temple with incredibly thick stone walls, so you can't really sense too far out. And there's a lot of magical cross chatter here. If you recall, the other room had some with the giant crab had a kind of magically uplifted being in the form of the crab there. So there's a lot of you can't really get much beyond this room. So you can sense, the magic items that are there, kind of like this isn't a full detect magic, but you're kind of catching that. And the axe itself, for all intents and purposes, seems to be just a normal magic weapon, aside from the properties that we talked about last time, which is that it has a couple of spells embedded in it that you can cast with charges if you attune to it. I mean, it's a very unusual room in and of itself, but there are you do not discern any traps or secret compartments or anything beyond just the sarcophagus full of the loot that was left behind after the creature got out. Hmm. Interesting. So you're sending the rats around the corner up there. So you see, or the rats see, a stairwell going up that is completely collapsed in. Like there is no getting up that stairwell, it's just collapsed in from the top. So there was once a pathway here, but it is no more. Nope. It's completely, like, there's not even, there's the gas in this place, that fog is not, it's not seeping up. Are you guys taking all of, are you taking all of the loot out of that room that Tloques was in? It's a +2 axe that also gives +2 to your max HP per level, and has a couple of spells. Yes, so whatever your level is, it gives you that many. It essentially acts as a con buff to your hit points, but not your con score. But all of this, any of this stuff to use, you have to attune to. Well, attuning is a short rest, but you would take. So roughly every hour, it seems like that gas kind of gets to you. Okay, so let's see. Gail and Teresa, do you want me to just move you guys forward? Nope. I feel bad because I have two instances of it open and they are both running fine. My GM instance is noticeably worse than the player instance, though, for what it's worth. Like my GM instance lags, my player instance is kind of fine. So this pathway, it like many of the others, or like the other one to the north, this one also has a stairwell going down. Unlike the path to the north, this one is not full of mud and silt. And there is an unlocked doorway at the end of it. You guys did check the doorway last session, and it did not have any. You did not perceive any traps or locks. Somebody will have to open the door, though. If you're talking about the northern door out of the big room, is that the one you're talking about? Or what? I'm going to go ahead and say you checked it because I just told you it had no traps or anything, so it'd be silly to. Cool. So you find yourself in another disgusting room. It's wet. The walls are covered with that same slimy white buildup, that caustic lime buildup that was outside the vampire's room. On the floor, there's about 1.5 inches of mud and water covering it. There's a lot of overturned pedestals and broken statues all over the floor. Most of them are half buried in the mud. You get the impression that this mud flowed down from the room above at some point in the past. There is one pedestal remaining standing in the northwestern corner, so that would be down here. On it sits a small metallic three-sided pyramid. And the ceiling of this room has inlaid colored tiles depicting a starry sky and forming strange patterns above the pedestals. And there is a door to the west. You want me to move you down in, Teresa? You see a door, you think. It looks like a door. Are you also percepting the door? It is a door. Who here has the highest, never mind. Doesn't matter. You also perceive a door. Let's see here. Oh, sorry. Um, so a couple things. Let's see. Anybody who got a 10 or higher on the perception check, sorry. On the wall above the door, there is a big, dark, wet mass. It looks to be a large colony of algae. Um, let's see. The small pyramid is covered in little carvings of moons and lightning symbols. And then on each side it has a variety of animals. On one side it has a coyote, on one a crab-headed figure. There's an alligator-headed god and a jaguar on the various parts of the pyramid. So it's a little decorative piece of silver. Yes, there is algae above the door. You produce flame it. So the fire hits it and kind of sputters out. The algae is very damp, and that combined with the gas is making it very hard for things to keep burning unless you put a whole bunch of power in there. Where are you? Okay, so you singe the outer effect of it. Like you have singed parts of the mass, but it is still, there's still a chunk of it there. It doesn't respond in any way when you burn it. Yeah, it looks like algae. Bioluminescent algae. Whoa, that's weird. Whoa. Teresa, do you have your character sheet open? Are you moving between tabs on it? Wow, so I have it open and it is moving between tabs for me, so I'm just going to go ahead and close your character sheet. And hopefully that... So I was trying to find your perception while doing everything else and failing. No, that's fine. Yeah, so let's see. Sib, Gale, you see that it appears to be algae. Yep. Teresa, also, it appears to be a door with algae above it. You hit it. Let's see, how much damage have we done to this thing so far? Okay, yeah, congratulations. Between the produce fire and the firebolt, you have completely cooked that massive algae. You've pretty much burnt down to the stone up there. Well, it's above the door. Like, so it's just up there on the wall. I don't know if you can actually reach it. Well, like you can brush the bottom of it. The part that you can brush away, it looks like wall. What kind of wall? The wall? I didn't write a backstory for the wall. Sorry. Okay. You open the door. Let's see here. So, are you going to go in to the curve? Awesome. So the walls and ceiling of this hallway are coated with slime, and the floor is covered with a layer of mud that is a mix of mud and water trickling from the room before you. Through this muck, there's a steady stream of water trickling northward, which is to the left on the screen. The stucco on the walls is flaking off, and there are glowing silver tracks in the slime crisscrossing the walls and ceiling. Along the east wall of the passageway stands a 12-foot tall stone statue of a man outfitted in fine clothing and holding a stone tray in his raised arms. So that stone tray is probably at about 7 or 8 feet, so most characters could grab the stone tray if they wanted to. The statue's eyes appear to be black gemstones. The right one is drooping out of the socket, balanced on the statue's cheek. I think I have a picture for you guys. I think. Ooh, gems, ooh. Land of Chult. No, really? Oh, that's because I'm in the wrong module. Helps to be in the right module. Here we go. No? Really? Where are my handouts? Bam! There it is. Show to players. Make my own goddamn handouts. So that's the statue. So the one eye is drooping out. On the back of the statue, there's the hilt of a weapon, most likely a sword. And then the stone tray, as well as the forehead and the nose of the statue, are chipped and scratched. And then there is a set of double doors to the north. You're saying he wants to roll his d4? Did anybody take the silver pyramid? Or is that still sitting there? Cool. Yeah, it was right down there. You do not detect any traps. You pick it up. Nothing happened. So you put just the die up there? Or the pyramid? Cool. Nothing happens. You do not detect any traps. It opens. Okay, so here is your description of this room. And please wait at the landing and let me describe it before you start doing anything. No, I'm just saying if you like fly ahead while I'm reading the description, then I'm going to have to whatever. It makes it easier if you let me read it and then decide what you want to do. The doors of this room are made of bronze and are tinted blue from oxidation. Just inside the doorway are 2 small alcoves. Those are the things to the top and bottom of you. Those are the alcoves. Each space contains an old fountain, cracked and crusted with lime. Around the fountain in the eastern alcove, which is to your up. God damn it. Yeah, to the up. That was really just... Sorry, guys. It was... I spent all day programming. My brain is kind of done. To the up. To the top of the room, or the east, there's a heap of rubbish on the floor. In the western alcove, the bottom alcove, there's some green, scummy water in which it appears something is moving, but you can't tell what without really getting right up on it. The short hall ends in a descending staircase, or steps, leading down to a central chamber, which is flooded. A dark, foul pool covers the entire floor that you can see. There's a central hall, which is what you are looking into, flanked by narrow aisles, which are behind the pillars that are kind of blocking, I think, many of the characters' line of sight right now. Yeah, so there's 2 rows of those massive square columns. Hey, Rio. I'll move you over. Flying in the air? Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fine, because I just want to give it, like, the proper sighting and everything. Because then it'll be able to see. Or the other thing I could do, because this is mildly annoying, is, let's see if this works. Grimmy Sue. That's my narrator character that nobody can see, because I actually figured out how to record this properly. I'll play that video for everybody later. Okay. There you go. Does this creature have night vision? No, Teresa's. Because the joke will be, if it doesn't have night vision, it won't be able to see anything. Which would suck. Although, interestingly, it looks like... Awesome. Okay. If I move it out... Oh, let's go to that layer. Is that working for you? Cool. It'll work for you, Teresa. It won't work for anybody else. Because everybody's sight is tied to what your actual sight abilities are. So that's fun. So as it flies around, the walls are coated with slime, and there are faint glowing silver lines on them. The cavern appears to be very crudely worked. There are 2 bronze braziers in the middle of the pool, and then there's some broken urns next to them. Each of those urns was about 4 feet tall, but they're in pretty bad shape now. In the darkness on the eastern wall, or the up wall, there's an enormous green growth, kind of up here, where I'm pinging, which many of you probably can't even see. It's fun. Why doesn't reveal work? Reveal. No. Okay. So Teresa, where your familiar is, that is where that green is coming from, and it looks like some enormous growth that's giving off a greenish silvery hue that looks kind of similar to the slime trails. That's a good question. It's real dark. Give me a perception check. Yeah, so the cat does notice with that roll that the edges surrounding the central floor on the northeast and west side, definitely it's deeper for the 10 feet by the wall than it is in the center of the chamber. So basically there's a little platform, or the center of the chamber is a platform that has a moat around the edges, on every edge except the edge that you guys are standing on. So there's a set of stairs leading upwards to the same height as the stairs on the other side of the room, and there is another set of those bronze doors that are tinted blue. And the walls to this room, just to also give this bit, they're also coated in that lime sludge. Just old rotted wood. Somebody a long time ago burned something in there, and it's slowly turned into kind of a sludge because of the humidity in this room. You can shoot it with a firebolt and find out. Sorry, I'm trying not to use the Matt Mercer quote every single time. Yeah. I'm gonna say you hit it. On the edges. So around in the center area, it looks to be about 2 feet deep. So you can walk in the middle. So Sebastian, you walk out there. Sebastian, you notice that it is incredibly slippery. To the point that if you try to move quickly, you're probably going to have to make some sort of check. It's just sludgy underneath. So you... This is not Underdark. It's under, and it's also dark, but it is not Underdark. Do they see that thing to the north? What is that? What? I don't know what that is. That's... It's gone. There you go. There's nothing there. There was a stray swarm of rats token on the map for some reason. Oh, I know why it's there. I don't care. I don't want it there. Don't care. Yes, as you guys are milling about, a swarm of rats that are not the rats you summoned hide in all the rubble. So there is another... Yeah, they go hide away because they're like, people. So you shot that firebolt into the brazier. It kind of bubbled and splattered and then went out. There is not enough flammable material left in that brazier to get a fire going unless you put more wood in there. So roll your perception. I think you roll it with advantage because of Dungeon Delver. Advantage on perception and investigation for secret doors. Advantage on saving throws. Resistance to trap damage. What'd you get? Sorry. Well, A, natural doesn't matter for skill checks. It only matters for attacks. B, you do not notice any secret doors. Yeah, they're little broken urns. The urns. So as you go to reach in one of them, I'll say the one that's next to you, because that one's not broken. As you kind of put your arm in, the whole thing actually crumbles, and you get the impression that the bottom of it in the water had almost completely dissolved, and so it just kind of and falls in on itself into the water. Does anybody have a passive perception of 15 or higher? Cool. So anybody who does that mass on the wall, that faintly glowing mass, you notice that it's kind of slightly moving now and then. Okay. What's your total health? 39? Cool. There. Yeah. So, as you guys are all kind of drawing down on this mass, an eye stalk pops out of it as it drops into the moat. So it literally just, the whole thing just goes down into the water. I mean, you can still do a nature check. Boy, that was a big slimy thing on the wall that glows. Yeah, I mean, I'll say that somebody's going to need to roll like a 15 or higher to get any knowledge on this thing. That's the DC on it. Well, Teresa knows stuff. Teresa. This is some sort of giant snail. Um, let's take a look at. Geez, you also know it's a giant snail. Let's see here. Yeah, so this is a large monstrosity. I mean, obviously at this point you know it can climb on walls, it glows, and is amphibious because it's in the water. And you can probably also deduce from the fact that it's playing in this water that looks like it corroded ceramics that it is probably not bothered by acid or lime. Yeah. It may even have left a snail trail. What with it being a giant snail. Or slug or something. Oh, sir. Oh, sir. Let's see here. Does anybody speak primal? Primal. Not primordial. Oh, wait. Teresa understands any language in this dungeon. That's right. Okay. Cool. Good to know. Oh yeah, y'all remember the feathers I gave you. If you can. I did write it down somewhere if we need to look at it. Yeah. Sebastian gets an extra pally thing. Arm gets to not die once. I mean, it seems appropriate for a barbarian. Rio, did I give you one? Shit. Thought I did. Let me check. Boons. Sebastian. Yeah, I don't think I specifically gave you one. No, I have it in the write-up. It's just hard to read. Yeah, because Sebastian 1 actually use Paladin class feature. Teresa 24 hours comprehend all languages in the tomb. Daminar 1 key point. Rio, I'm just going to give you an extra attack at some point, too, because, yeah, it acts as you burn the feather and you get one extra attack at some point. Because I forgot and I can't think of anything more creative right now, so my apologies. It's deeper than the surrounding stuff. Based on how dim it is and how murky the water is, there's really no way for you to visibly determine the depth of it, besides deeper than 2 feet. How long is your spear? That's 10-foot pole. Spears. I mean, it's up to you. Is it a one hand? No, that would be a javelin. A proper spear is like 6 or 7 feet long. They're big. I'm going to say, how tall is your character? I'm going to say it's 2 feet taller than your character because that feels right. So your spear is about 7.5 feet. It goes as deep as you're willing to let it go, and doesn't touch bottom. I mean, you can deduce by the size of the mass that it is lurking somewhere in that moat. So it is not a... you also know that this is not a standard creature. Much like the crab in the other room, this thing is... like, it's a giant slug. It's not a mundane giant slug. I'm just going to retcon this. I'm going to say that your feather lets you speak languages too, because that will make my life way easier. And I don't want to make you have to figure out a crazy way to talk every single time. That just seems painfully punitive. So it acts for, we'll say, for another, 22 hours about at this point. You can also speak to things in this place if you want to. It turns out smashing this thing into this campaign is tricky, but that's okay. Go ahead, sorry. Talking over you. So I need... I'm just going to do it this way. It's going to respond in a second. I'm just trying to... There we go. Just have to be on the right layer. So it kind of slides up the wall over here just to the point where like 2 of its eyes and its mouth are visible above the water. And it basically, in a very weird, drippy voice, kind of indicates to you that it's not interested in getting too close to so many people with so much fire and pointy things. And it's perfectly fine staying down in the moat. So pretty much you guys can go where you want. I'm not interested in fighting you people. Yeah. Sorry, I don't even know how to do a voice for a giant slug. I didn't think about it. It is technically an animal. It's a monstrosity, but... And you can also tell that it's being very cautious just because, like, as soon as you guys all looked at it, y'all just, like, loaded up. So it's just like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. This seems like a lot. Like it... Sebastian, are you in that... You want to swim across? So I'm going to say, because I didn't see you doing that. Let's see. I know. We have a lot of people. Let's see here. Okay, it's not completely fucking stupid. Yeah, you're able to struggle your way across. It's kind of gross, but you make it across. It's just gross water, and he's in heavy armor. Like, it's a very disgusting experience to swim across this moat. That's a good question. Let's see, we've been in here for how long? I'm gonna say, have your rats been in the water with you the whole time? So I'm gonna say another 3 of them have died since getting in the water. This water is nasty. They can swim fine. It's the water that is killing them. Okay. Somebody just pinged a wall. As far as... Oh, Jesus Christ, it's a wall. I actually... It's a roughly hewn in poor craftsmanship wall from this side. Let's see, Sebastian, I'm assuming you are trap checking the door? Well, you're standing in front of a door. I mean, masters of perception. No, there are no traps that you notice on the door. It opens. This is another hallway. The water is flowing towards you. Down this hallway into, so it's flowing down this hallway under the door, down the steps into this pool. So both sides are slowly pouring water into this pool. It's more of a sickly trickle. I mean, you still could. It's up to you. Yeah. So Sebastian, as you turn the corner, there is a wooden door in front of you. The door is bowed slightly in the direction, slightly towards you. So as you get near it, the door is definitely damp. You can hear some slight deep sounds behind the door. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what they are, but there's some slight noises behind the door. So, interestingly, Dungeon Delver gives you advantage on secret doors, not on finding traps. You just get to find them while walking at a normal pace. There are... oh, we lost somebody. So I'll say that for the people who rolled over 20, you get the idea that opening this door might not be a great idea. Like there's no trap, there is no mechanism, there is nothing. You're just like, you deeply are like, maybe I shouldn't just open this door. Sorry, hold up, which door? That door is obstructed from the room you were in, so it's a stairwell going down to that door, and there's just a pile of mud and silt to the point that like you cannot open that door from that side. Like it opens in and you can't. If you got an excavation crew, you might be able to do it, but not you guys. Okay. Yep, there are no secret doors in this room. I guarantee you, in this dungeon, if if you continually search for secret doors in this dungeon, you will find some. So I'm not just DM fiating you. Okay. No, you guys put the pyramid on the tray, nothing happened, and you kept going. Y'all got a little meta with... No, I meant they were metagaming and that it wanted to play D&D. That's what I was going to say. I feel like everybody fixated on that and then just left. I mean... Okay, roll a d20. Just roll with advantage and tell me what you get. Yeah, there was a passageway behind that statue. You have to figure out how to get the statue out of the way, but there's a passage behind that statue. Like you can see a little gap. Like as you kind of looked behind the statue between the sword and the thing, you were like, oh, there's an open hole here. You just have to look. So everybody is... Yeah, the star is the secret door. Or it's a statue. It is a big-ass statue. Let me reshare the thingamajobber. Nope, they won't. Nope, they'll be fine. How long does that last? An hour? Skrrk? Oh. Kellic, you also notice that that statue is top-heavy. So you get the impression if you push it from the top, it is likely to tip. It is a big-ass statue. Made out of stone. there was a silver pyramid in the prior room. And so everybody assumed that the statue wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons, and they put the pyramid on the tray, and nothing happened. So, yeah, that's what happened. Let's see, shatter. Are you casting shatter? Okay. Let's see here. Sorry. What did you roll for your thing, Rio, for the trap? You. No. No, sorry, you don't detect anything. I was not thinking about the roll. I was thinking through, do I actually know what the proper trap roll is? And I realized I don't actually know, so I'm going to look that up. I feel like it's perception or investigation with Thieves' Tools. And Thieves' Tools is disarming it. Traps, finding, C, wisdom, perception, C also intelligence, investigation. Traps, removing or disabling, C, Thieves' Tools. So, yeah, I'm going to say it's usually investigation or perception. Yeah. But no, there is no discernible trap. So the eyes are both, let's see here. I can tell you things about it. So they're both polished obsidian gems. One of them is loose. You get the impression you could probably pry both of them out. The sword on the back of the statue is an actual sword. It's made out of wood, but it has teeth of obsidian. And let's see here. I already told you this thing is top heavy. Yeah. No, the sword. So imagine a wooden, yeah, like have you ever seen one of those swords? It's wood with the stone pieces chunked into it. So my first question is, how much do you weigh? Because that is actually relevant right now if you land on the statue. Okay. So you land on the statue. It kind of rocks a little bit from your weight landing on it. If you go to try to remove the sword, it slides out easily. You can just take it off of the sheath on the back of the statue. It is a long sword. It is just like it's on the shoulders. You're about 8 feet off the ground. It's a tall statue. as much as a longsword made out of wood and obsidian would weigh. So, like, I'm going to guess 5 to 10 pounds, because anything heavier would be ridiculous for a longsword. Like, 5 pounds is actually very ridiculous for a longsword. So I'm going to say 5 pounds. Sebastian's trying not to yell at me right now. Sebastian had started to say something. Oh, okay. Longswords are like 3 pounds, right? Ish. So this is a hand and a half sword made out of wood. It's not very heavy. Just imagine. Huh? Yeah, I don't have one. But yeah. Yeah. The obsidian I don't have. This is just happens to be in my fucking office for some reason. We'll get there. Sorry, it's light. It's not a heavy weapon. So you are perched on top of the statue, holding the sword. What is happening? They're both obsidian. Sorry, they are. Yeah. Nothing stands out to you based on any of the rolls you have done. We'll just glom it all together. Cool. So y'all remember Legend of Zelda? Link to the Past? What? Am I just that old? Nobody else played Super Nintendo games? God damn it. Well, my whole joke isn't going to work now. Fine, you kick it over, it falls, it shatters, and you see a hallway. I'm so disappointed. Sure. So the hallway is like 4 feet. Like it's about 4 feet higher than the floor, but it's not. There's no challenge getting into it. It's just a little hallway. Yes, this is a secret passage, upon which water beads collect upon the walls of this narrow passage, and the floor is cold and damp. A low ceiling, only 5 feet tall, further cramps this dank place. At this point, is anybody immune to poison? So it's the fog. Is anybody just resistant to poison? Or immune? Okay, so everybody who is not the cat takes 2 points of poison damage from this fog that you are traipsing through, because I'm going to say it's been about another hour. No, it's just that the fog is ever present. So he's only got like a whole fucking pile of tokens hidden in the side bar. I can't keep up with every damn creature this man can make, this woman can make. Yeah. Yes, I did get rid of a Swarm of Rats token. I'm a horrible DM. Get over it. Yeah. Your life will be an endless disappointment. Enjoy it. Okay, so as you guys... Okay, let's see here. Yep, so this... there's kind of a little puddle in the middle of the... so this is a hallway. There's a puddle accumulating in the middle. There's definitely water dripping from the ceiling and kind of sweating out of the walls. And it is flowing westerly down the hallway towards the doorway that Murakana is standing in front of. That door is bronze-bound wood. It has a handle and a keyhole. And then to the east is a pair of double doors. The one that you're standing next to, the one that Murakana's in front of? No, there is no apparent damage to or wear or force on that door. It looks like a wood door. It's a wood door with bands of bronze on it. So it looks sturdy enough. Sure. Mm-hmm. Here you go, Rio. There's a room. There's a short flight of stairs that goes down to essentially a giant pool of water. You can just see the top of a door on the far side of this big pool of water. The door was not locked. So I'm sorry, you can see all this through the keyhole. Whatever. Either way you want to do it. This is a big pool of water. Sure. There are no secret doors that you observe in the room. It's another pair of so as you touch the door, it does not appear to be locked. And as you approach, you hear... you got a 12 for checking traps. You do not detect any. Murakana, you hear a faint melodious sound from the other door, from the other side of the door. It's difficult to tell whether it is someone singing or the echoing of dripping water in the cavern. The cavern beyond. Sure. It definitely sounds like some creature is singing on the other side of the door. So are you... You're kicking the door in? Cool. Okay, so go ahead and move yourselves up. Or at least Maracana. So as you enter this room, it is lit by a soft light. There's a section of rocky beach, and then there's a pool of glowing water filling about half the cavern. There are green fronds by the pool. There's light flowing kind of from everywhere, and the walls glisten like soft moonlight. As you burst in, you catch a very beautiful and scantily clad woman is startled and dives into the water and swims to the far side of the room with like just her eyes above the level of the water. And she looks like her. So that woman dives in and swims to the other side of the pool. Sorry, I just have to check. Your map disappeared? That's fun. You can. Yeah, so you guys notice there is a giant lightning eel in the pool as well. So you shout out, what language do you shout out in? She responds to neither of those languages. Like, she is looking at you, but she does not respond. What do you say to her? Yeah, so she kind of peeks her head up above the water, and she says, "What do you want?" And to that she replies, "You just want to pass through? That's all you want?" Yeah, I'm moving you up. I'm really surprised they didn't actually split this into 2 maps, but that's a whole nother discussion. Because Roll20 made this fucking module. Anyway, so she tells you that she... Yeah, roll your checks and just tell me what you get. So her response is she doesn't know anything outside of this room. She's been in this room. She woke up here. That's all she can remember. She kind of turns and thinks, and so I don't know. Probably a long time. I don't know. How long have we been here? And she reaches over and pets the eel, and the eel just kind of splashes around here, and she says, "Oh, Jack doesn't know how long, so I guess I don't know how long either." Well, I'd have to take my eel with me if we left. Can you take my eel? It's let me look up exactly how big it is. It is a large creature. See appendix. Oh, giant lightning eel. That's why I can't find it under L. Yeah, it is a large beast. So it's big. You you can kind of assume that you probably can't carry it for very long. A giant eel will not fit in a bag of holding. Question for you, Sib. Do you have a whole bunch of stuff open on your computer? The only thing... Weird. Okay. Oof. So anyway, you guys probably can't carry that eel. Yeah, she doesn't really need to eat necessarily. Um, as for the giant eel, the the woman in front of you looks just kind of confused by the question. Um, she's never really thought about it, which is kind of weird. Um, I mean, maybe not so much for her, but for the eel, definitely. She kind of thinks for a bit, and as she cocks her head to the side, just kind of says, maybe our Lord is just making it so Jack doesn't have to eat anymore. So there's no there's no secret doors. You could pick whatever check you want, I guess. I could see that going for either perception or for maybe Arcana. Because you're basically... Go ahead. And so, while you're figuring your roll out, Kellic, she says, "Oh, well, our Lord is Lord Zotsilaha." Yeah, Tloques mentioned that he was a servant of Zotsilaha. Oh, he's the Lord of the Shrine. The Lord of the Night. Oh, who's Tloques? He was the vampire. Sorry. So you're doing a check to see if she's here, and you're also sacrificing a spell slot to see if there's any undead within a mile. Is that a Gloomstalker thing? Oh, okay. Cool. So to the question about undead, yeah, there's a bunch of undead within a mile of you. Is there like, does the ability say how specific I have to be? You can try. That's not really a perception thing. I'll say if you get higher than a 20, you'll probably get a good answer, but that's not really a... No, that's not, it's not a... No, there's a power that can... Yeah. To your knowledge, none of these are undead. She is not necessarily of this plane, but she is not undead. Yep. She says, certainly there's a path around the edge. And so the path is, oh, you guys can see it. You can see where the path is. So there's a path there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a door. It's another wood and bronze banded door. You do not detect any traps. Cool. Yeah, it's unlocked. Yeah, so this door opens up. It's opens up onto an L-shaped hallway that's flooded with about 3 feet of water. It's deep and pretty slippery and very hard to walk across this floor. It does slope up ever so slightly as you walk down the hall. As you turn the corner, the water, you come up out of the water, and there is, pardon me, a stairwell, or a slight stairwell in front of you, and a pair of double doors at the end of the hall. It's another set of bronze doors that have each door has a keyhole in it. Yeah. Well, we're a good chunk through this map, so hopefully once we get off this floor, it will go away. I hope. I'm assuming it's Roll20 is unable to, or I don't know. Well, I have thoughts, but I don't know if any of them are true. Yeah, I don't know if it's a client side thing or a server side thing. It's a big map. And it has lighting on it, which probably makes it worse. I use Firefox because Roll20 doesn't work in Chrome for me. Yeah, mine works great. I can't run it in Chrome. If I try to open this in Chrome on GM mode, it just fucking shits itself. I don't know. Anyway, cool. So there's a pair of doors. Rio, there are no secret doors in this room. They are not. You do not notice any traps. Boosh. Go in the next room. Cool. Yes. So this hallway is 20 feet wide and has piles of rubble and debris scattered along the length. The walls are covered with frescoes. The southern wall, which is here, displays scenes of battle between natives and invaders. The north wall depicts people questing for a new land. Their experiences during the journey include crossing treacherous mountains, sailing over storm-tossed seas, and receiving the guidance of the gods in their battles to keep their homeland free from invasions. In the center of the wall is a painting of a pyramid with a temple atop it and the sun shining overhead. On the eastern end are the bronze doors you came through. Down the hall to the west is an archway carved in the form of twining serpents. Beyond it, the corridor continues into shadow. So that handout I shared is the image of the hallway looking from kind of where Murakana is standing, looking to the west. Are you talking to us or somebody else, Rio? Did that work? I hit the button again. If you go to the little newspaper or journal icon on the top right side of the screen, you can see all of the stuff I have shown you, and this is room 15. I have very creatively named this room after the room number it is, because I have no idea how you would know the actual names of these rooms, because it's not like there's signs on the walls. Kind of really pisses me off. Why are they given names? Nobody would know what the names are. Ugh. Yes, this is the Great Hall. That's the name of this room. The previous room was entitled The Flooded Hall, and the room with the lady in it was called Child of Zotzilaha. But there are no placards on the wall to show you this. Sure. Let's see. Sebastian, what is your passive perception? Okay. What did you get, Rio? And you're searching the rubble piles? There are a lot of beautiful rubble piles in this room. You may. So you see in that image the sun on the pyramid? you can tell from that that there is a. Let's see here. You can definitely that sun is separate from the wall and can be pressed. Like it's a big old button. And that is right about here. Okay. Okay. So you go here and you reveal that to yourself. A door in the wall opens about 8 feet above the ground, kind of the top half of that temple in the picture. That whole section opens up onto a hallway. Sebastian, you are in a little niche. The hallway appears to continue on to the south in front of you, and then those little side areas are there. Yeah, so you notice a couple different things. The first thing is the hallway that it is in fact a dead end that is painted expertly to look like it continues forward. Had you not specifically tried to look at it, you could have walked into that wall thinking it was actually a pathway. To either side of you in those alcoves, there are pressure plates on the floor. So all of those 5-foot hexes that are not where you and Teresa are standing are pressure plates. Are you pinging yourself, Gale? Fair enough. Yeah, so you're walking forward and you're just kind of like, kunk, oh. Nice craftsmanship, I guess. I'm gonna save the description for a second, Rio, if that's okay. Just to see if people what happens over here. So help me God, if you move onto one of those pressure plates, I will tell you what happens. Teresa, if you want to have your cat try to trip them, you can. It's up to you. Let me see exactly what happens here when the cat goes on there. No, I actually have to, I'm looking up the very specific rule about this. So, what I'm going to say happens is as the cat walks on this pressure, that first pressure plate that it actually lands on, sorry, a bunch of horizontal bars snap out and create essentially a giant grate that now separates the bottom of this room from the hallway in the top half of the room. And there's probably about 6 inches between each bar. And these are big bronze bars. They would have snapped. Yep, the cat can get out. Yep. A person would not have been able to get out. Unless they can fit through a 6-inch space. You successfully triggered the trap. So Maracana, do you know what would have happened had you triggered that trap? No, you would have either starved or been poison gassed to death over a very painful long period. Cool. Yeah. Maybe I should trigger a trap like that just to see if you can get past it, Cal. I'm gonna have to go look up. Hey, how long do pipes of the sewer last? I think it's an hour, right? Oh, 24 hours, really? Damn. Okay. No. Cool. That's disgusting. Okay, cool. So as you are all clambering up into this hallway, as you all clamber up into this hallway, this corridor is high-ceilinged and decorated with sculptures mounted on the walls. The sculptures are those little nubby things on the sides of the wall, because it's just fantastic. Let me give you guys a picture. Oh, really? We don't have a picture of this? Did I forget to make a picture of this? Damn it. Player handouts. Here we go. Scenes and locations. Aha! There we go. Boom. This is what the hallway looks like as you are looking at it from the secret door. There are multiple corridors branching off of this hallway. One to the east, right about here. One to the west, down here. And then there's a curve or a turn in the hallway at the very end of it. The statuary that adorns the walls consists of 4 sculpted heads of animals. Each one is 6 feet above the floor and about 2 to 3 feet in diameter. So right here, there is a grinning bear across from the narrow hallway. Oh wait, I'm sorry. we have, in order from secret door on, there is a ram, a coyote, a bear, and an eagle, kind of in the same order that they are in that picture. So the closest one with the horns that is across from Kellic, that's a ram. Then there's a coyote across from the narrow hallway. The bear is across from the wider hallway, and the eagle is towards the end. Something shines out of the eagle's mouth. And that is the description of this room. I think you're looking for a rogue. Yeah. Oh man, they don't even have like trap sense anymore? That's crazy. The very far end. So the furthest one away from you guys is the eagle. So here, I will draw letters. Eagle. Bear. Oh, you can't see it there. Okay. Bear. Coyote. Ram. Yeah, so okay, as you get closer to the eagle, in its jaws is an intricately crafted golden bracelet. There is definitely a trap on the eagle's jaws. Can you guess what the trap is? No, the jaw is hinged. Friendship was the trap all along, 'cause they'll break your heart. The rain stick of Umbala used to trigger a trap. I love it. Make a sleight of hand check. Great. Yep. You manage to hook it out, and as you hook it out, the jaws of the eagle snap shut. But you are able to just kind of twist it the right way so that the golden bracelet and your arrow come out. So there you go. What? Yeah, you ritual cast, and yep, it's a bracelet of rock magic. Which nobody would know, because that's... Look at you. It's almost like there's rules to Dungeons and Dragons. When you wear this gold bracelet, it grants you immunity to being petrified, and it allows you to cast Flesh to Stone as an action. Once the spell has been cast 3 times, the bracelet can no longer cast it. Thereafter, you can cast Stone Shape as an action. After you've done this 13 times, the bracelet loses its magic and turns from gold to lead. Cool. It is a hallway. I mean, in retrospect, it really is too big. They should have cut it in half. And I was kind of surprised when I got it. Yeah, so if you guys are going that way, wait a minute, who's going where? Okay. Were you going the middle way, Sareth? Or were you going... Okay. Let's see here, yeah. Follow the pings. Yeah, so the hallway in front of you, basically there is a 5 foot across and about 10 foot deep smooth stone walled pit in front of you. There are a couple of skeletons at the bottom of it and scratches on the wall. You can surmise that some people have fallen into this and been unable to get out. Across the pit there is a giant triangular stone wedge from floor to ceiling that is facing you. There are kind of scratches on either side of the point of this pillar. Are you trying to fly over the pit and land? So at the bottom of the pit, the skeletons that are there have been there so long that they didn't have any weapons, it doesn't look like, and any clothing they have has disintegrated into useless scraps of cloth. There is no loot. Bones, some rotted leather, some rotted clothing. Basically it looks like probably at 3 different points in time some poor bastards have fallen down this hole and been unable to get out. Yep. So just deep enough and smooth enough that if you don't have a tool to get out, you can't get out. Yeah, so do you do anything to the wedge, or do you just stare at it? So the scratches is on the ground in front of the wedge. And I'll draw a picture. Nope, the walls are smooth. So I don't know if you can see this well, but there's a scratch where the tip is. Here, I'll do it this way. Where it looks like the tip has maybe ground into the stone around it. Almost as if it can pivot. So you don't need to do a perception check. It's just a giant stone wedge from floor to ceiling. It's smooth. Like it's just a smooth stone wedge. Or triangle or whatever. You want to be on the tip. Yep. So it does. However you do it, it rotates slightly and the hallway opens, so there's just enough space to squeeze through. It's like if you rotate the wedge, it rotates just enough that you can squeeze through to get past it. Did we completely lose Teresa? Oh, okay. Okay. She left. She went to bed. Okay, cool. Sorry. Sorry, sometimes it doesn't scroll. Cool. Sorry, what are you guys doing on the other side? It's a 5-foot jump. Yeah, and yeah, unless you do something incredibly stupid, you can safely jump over. Strongest with the only. I was gonna say it's probably hardest for you, Sebastian, to get across. So it nets out. Isn't there a... I'm gonna rule that I don't care, because even if you fell down, somebody could just reach down and solve it. I mean, I don't know. Would you guys leave him to die in the pit? Oh, Jesus Christ. You know what? No. Yeah, I mean, there's sections to this tomb that, when you... Whatever. After we finish it, I'm more than happy to talk about things that I changed and things that I just completely omitted from this tomb. For reasons. Like this entire hallway. There is something here that I am not playing because it's fucking stupid. Because I think rocks fall and you die traps are dumb. So, congratulations, you guys pass through this hallway and find a door at the end, and rocks don't fall and you don't die. Here you go. I will tell you, this room has a sand trap that if you walk past the middle of it, gates fall that are almost impossible to open and fill with sand and kill you. It's a stupid trap. It doesn't have any tells, and it doesn't have any special solution. It's just you have to roll enough dice. It fills the entire corridor. It takes 10 minutes, but it will literally fill this entire corridor with sand. Yeah, it's stupid. It's a stupid trap. It's a tournament trap. It's a trap that if you have hirelings. And they didn't take it out for reasons that I don't understand. So whatever. Yeah. We're going to ignore it because it's dumb. This hallway is called the Sandbox. I don't know. Anyway, there's a door in front of you. I will say it stinks as you get close to that door. It just reeks. Nope. Smelly door does not appear to have a trap on it. That was completely off key in like every single note. I mean, that was just amazing. Like how off it was. Okay, you open it, go inside. So this room is... Yeah, there is no go back out. You are where you are. That's how the game works. Please tell me they actually put the rules for this in here. Awesome. I love it. So okay, as you smash the door open and pile in this room, a bitter stench assails your senses as you lay your eyes on this room ahead. Inside there are piles of rubbish, offal, and bracken ghostly lights move across the floor. Closer observation reveals the light is emitted by giant beetles. There seem to be around a dozen of these creatures in the room, each about 3 feet long. They don't appear to take notice of you. From within the largest pile of trash, where most of the beetles are clustered, there are glints of something shiny. And I will say that is down here. Here we go. Here's a nice good cluster. There you go. They are clustered there now. Also, there are doors. What am I doing? Pow, there we go. There are doors to the north and south. Yeah, north and south are flipped, sorry. Or rotated. Oh, you sent the rats over there? Sorry, I have to look at like 3 or 4 different things, so I don't always notice when you do that. Yeah, so as the rats get to that pile, all the beetles converge and just start tearing the rats apart. So your rat swarm is gone. For what it's worth, unless otherwise specified, the rooms here have 20-foot ceilings, unless otherwise specified. Are you calling call lightning? Where? You're on top of each other. God damn it. Let's see here. Well, here's how I'm going to play this because you did investigate their nest. Everybody roll initiative. Because I'm tired of waiting. How do you get a 0? Also, remember to select your character. God, every time you have one fucking job. Hold on. What did you get? Cool. I think we have everybody. I see 5 players. Okay, Kellic, it is your turn. You do. But you only get 2 attacks on subsequent turns. We found out Kellic was playing wrong the entire time, but that's okay. I want to look up Hunter's Mark real quick. Yeah, my question is it a bonus action or a full action? Cool. Awesome. Nope, that's cool. I just wanted to double check it. Because we did everything else about your character wrong for 17 sessions, so I figured I should maybe learn how a level 1 spell works. Okay, Okay, Hunter's Mark, do your attacks. Cool. How much damage do you do? What's the minimum damage you can do? Cool, you kill it. Which one was it? Cool, you killed it. That one's dead. They have AC 13 and 4 hit points. That's disadvantage because you're in melee with it. Cool, you hit it, and you killed it. That one's gonna be at a -2. Because it gets... Okay. Awesome. It bounces off of Sebastian's armor and hits the ceiling, and the arrow falls to the floor broken. Cool. Sebastian, it is your turn. You feel a ting off your armor. What's your minimum damage, Sebastian? You kill it. Sorry, I'm not going to have you guys roll damage for these because it's just not worth the time. Do you get 2 attacks now? Jesus, okay. Yeah, you killed that one. Good job. You guys are just like the fucking murderers of beetles right now. It's really... Because I declared it, that's why. Sareth, it's your turn. Oh, Jesus Christ. Did you have to pick the longest spell block ever? Oh my god, Good lord. Well, there's no lack of details. How many bears? I'm gonna actually argue that it doesn't have its own initiative, it just acts on your initiative. Because I don't feel like having more initiatives. Yeah, just have them do their thing. You missed. You missed again. Apparently Australian bears suck ass. That one, there you go. That one's dead. And that one's dead. I'm not sure you needed to use a 3rd level spell for this, but that's cool. Oh, you can keep them for an hour? Okay. Just add more things to the map. Anything else? Action. Yeah, you can't really move. Cool. Mr. Ganassi. Sorry, which one? Yep, you got it. It's clear. Nope. That is not clear. Yes. When it hits, it hits for a lot. It's just that it doesn't hit that time. Okay, well, your cannon blasts in your face and falls out of your hand onto the floor. You can bonus action to pick it up, but you're going to have to reload it as a separate bonus action. Cool, so you pick it back up. I feel like I keep having to come up with creative ways to for your critical failures. No offense to you in particular, Sib. It just seems like it keeps happening. Are you going to move it all? Okay, the beetles get to go. Sereth, the one by you, is going to attack. How about 13? Is that going to hit you? Okay, let's see. He's going to move. He's going to attack the bear. What's the bear's AC? Nope, it's not that. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. A 6? Let's see here. The other beetle is going to attack your bear. Nope, that's 5. Sebastian, the swarm is going to approach. I'm just going to roll all 3 of these at once to see what happens. What's your AC? Yeah, they have an int of 1, so they're not really picking their targets well. That's no hits. There's just lots of little against your shins. Murkana. Great. That's what, plus how much extra? Yep, you kill it. Gonna put fucking exterminator as the honorific for all of you guys. Do you have another attack now? Yeah. Yep. Look at you guys. That'll do. Kellic, it is your turn. You only get 2 attacks this turn. Four. Here, let me move the corpses out of the way. I mean, do you want to know what the challenge rating of a giant fire beetle is? It is 0. 0 is the challenge rating of a giant fire beetle. Yes, none. Yep. Awesome. I am not in front of my computer. Who goes after Kellic? Cool. I don't know. I didn't mark the ones Rio killed. Cool. I think that killed everything, right? Congratulations, you guys are now the Orcan men of Jolt. I will be back in 1 second. He's got a point there, actually. But yes, you have solved the giant fire beetle puzzle. Yes, they are giant fire beetles, but they're stunted fire beetles. Yeah, so the shiny thing in the middle of that nest, you find some odd pieces of metal, polished rocks, broken crystal. There are 3 large turquoises worth 20 gold each, and a +1 dagger that looks like junk. Three turquoises worth a total of 60 gold. No, Adam is turquoises. You are not close enough to anywhere where you can just convert to gold right now. Three, each is worth 20. So a total of 60. We can't maths. You're percepting the door? 'Tis a door. It's a door. There are no obvious traps. There is a hallway beyond the door. It is an L-shaped hallway. If you move your character down the hallway, you will see the next set of doors, I believe. And I will be there momentarily. Okay, coming back, sorry. My headset was popping in and out. You wanted to what the dagger? Okay, so Sebastian, yours is another set of doors. Did you percept them? Okay. Rio, did you percept those doors? Are you going to? They are doors. Cool. Sareth, you asked a question about the dagger. Are you going to cast Identify Item on it? Oh, stop drying your hair, dude. So yeah, it's a +1 dagger. It's chipping and flaking. Basically, if you roll a critical failure while attacking with that dagger, it will disintegrate. So it's like the lamest curse ever. That's not even a curse. It's just a shitty +1 dagger. Let's see here. Why can't I? Nope, I don't need that. Okay, so you opened the door and walked in, Kellic. Okay, give me 1 second here. Okay, yep. So, Kellic, your corridor is a corridor of stairs, gently sloping off to the north. You can see as far as you can see, but the hallway goes further than your dark vision allows you to see. Okay. Did they have night vision? And can you communicate with them? You have like telepathic or sensory perception with them? What I'm looking for is, do you get to perceive their senses? I'm going to say no then, in which case they don't need sight because you can't see what they see. You can only see where they are. So if you tell them to go around the corner, you can't see what they see. Is it not called Summon Beast? No, I mean, what's... God damn, why the fuck can't it just be Summon? Fucking Dungeons and Dragons. No, but they name all of the different summon spells until Tasha's. They named them all differently. Just, yeah, they fixed it. The DM has the creature statistics. It's mighty ambitious of you, wizards. Fuck you. Cool. Okay, yeah, so the bears are there, but I'm going to say, yeah, you can't see through their senses. So if you go around a corner, unless you have a spell that lets you do that, yeah. Cool. So yes, there's a door in front of Sebastian. You do not detect any traps. You enter the room. This is the chamber of the Nasewal. So you see a couple of different things in here as you come in. That's a brown bear. God damn it. I don't want the brown bear. I want my invisible symbol. There we go. I want to move this back over here. So there are two... Oh, interesting. Of course. Let me fix the map. Is it I? That's a you problem, not a me problem. Okay. So as you come in, there are there are two stone divans on the middle. I haven't seen that word in a while. Two stone divans, each with a human figure stretched out on it. So that each of those little things in the middle with a person on them. Those are things with a person on them. There is a dead red wizard kind of slumped up against the wall by the door. And there is an apparently sleeping Yuan-Ti on the floor down to the west. In between the two divans is a low stone table holding a flask and two goblets, all made of crystal. In the bottom of the crystal flask, there's a quantity of silver dust. On the divans, there is a male and a female figure, each about middle-aged and perfectly preserved. They're very still, dust-covered, and apparently dead, and their bodies are covered with dry snakeskin. The female wears a silver bracelet and holds what looks to be an ivory wand. The male has an amulet of electrum resting on his chest, inset with a red stone of considerable size. If she were here, on the wall directly across the room from you guys, you would know from Teresa that it says, one second here, carved into the wall it says, "Beware, the many-eyed god will bring down a fiery death." Can you do a medicine check? Awesome. Yeah, that's pretty good. He's probably been dead about 3 weeks. You get the impression that maybe the fog in here actually slows down decomposition. It's asleep. I mean, have the bears done anything to it, or is it just sleep? A divan. You see a gazebo on the hill. What do you do? A divan is just like, it's a fancy word for like a. Do you know what a chase lounge is? You ever been to a swimming pool where they have those chairs outside that like fold up and down? Yeah, okay, there you go. That's a divan. That's like, there you go. That's we are men of culture here. What was I about to look up? Jared, don't ever change. Yep, I love it. Your bear has covered. Okay, this is for those who are paying attention and playing the home game. This is a Type 3 Yuan-Ti, which I wrote that down as if I know what it means. Type 3 is a human head and upper body with a serpentine lower body instead of legs. So this is a snake butt, human upper body. Sure, we'll go with male. Because you already got to see one half-naked lady tonight. Also, there are doors to the north and south of this room. The wall says, "Beware, the many-eyed god will bring down a fiery death." Yeah. He has a wand on him. And that's the only item of value you find. So you guys spend a... Are you burning the spell slot or ritualing it? Yeah, so you spend a weird 10 minutes in this room with 3 sleeping people to find out that it is a wand of knock with... Wow, really? We're going to re-roll that, because I don't like that. Okay, fine, fuck it. The dice love you guys. 16 charges of knock. I crit the first one. That seemed ridiculous, and then when it gave me a 16, I decided I'm just going with it. I rolled with the wrong die. Watch. Yep, I got a 2 on that die. Jesus Christ. The sleeping things on the table are people. There is a man and a woman, both sleeping on those divans. No. The only obviously dead creature in this room is the red wizard slumped by the door. There are 2 humans, or apparent humans, sleeping on the divan, and a Yuan-Ti sleeping on the floor. Yeah, both of the people on the divans are covered in dust. I'm sorry, they're apparently dead, but they're perfectly preserved. Their bodies are covered with dry snakeskin. The female wears a silver bracelet and holds what looks to be an ivory wand. The male has an amulet of electrum resting on his chest, inset with a red stone of considerable size. Cool. So as you poke it, the snake snaps up and kind of slithers upright, and it literally just starts alternating between hissing and screaming. Like it is utterly, it's not focused on anyone. It is just losing its shit for a couple seconds. Does anybody do anything? Yuan-Ti speak common. You don't need special languages for Yuan-Ti, amongst others. I guess you can either do an intimidate or a persuasion check. Whichever one you want that to be. Just pick one and roll that. I love this character. I just love it. So it kind of like it stops as you're screaming at it, and it looks around and it sees you, it sees the bears, and then the whole pile of people behind it, and he just kind of takes a few breaths and steadies himself. And he just stares at you as he calms himself down. And so the snake man just starts muttering to himself. You just hear him, he's muttering as he's looking at you guys, and he's not even aware that he's doing it. He just keeps saying, 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. And he just kind of keeps repeating that as he looks at all of you. And he's twitchy. Like, this guy's kind of weird. The other body looked... Yeah. Oh, did you just get back, Rio? Yeah. Arm yet again succeeded on a charisma roll, which is amazing. And he just kind of looks at you, and he actually like grabs onto you, and it's not hostile. He just grabs you and he says, "No, no, not sleep. Awake. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I have been here 3 weeks." And he just keeps kind of muttering 3 weeks to himself over and over and over again as he's holding onto your shoulders. And he just kind of shudders and manages to stop saying it and points at one of the empty wine glasses on the table. And he kind of snaps, says, "No, followed the wizard. The wizard mixed the powder, killed the... I snuck up on the wizard. I killed the wizard. And then I had the drink. And I've just been here since. Couldn't move." And he's slowly, this snake man is slowly kind of coming back into some semblance of at least communicating to you guys. Snake Man says, "No, I killed that stupid interloper, and then stupid drink. I had the drink, and then I was stuck there. Something, it's a spell or a poison or something. No, they haven't moved. At least not in the last 3 weeks." God damn it, I didn't make a name for this character. No, I didn't. I just completely fucking blanked on giving him a name. And that's my fault. Because Tavon? Sir Hiss? I will make him a name at some point. I don't have one to hand because I didn't prep that and honestly didn't think you were not going to just kill him. So I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Mazadal. His name is Mazadal. And he kind of looks at you sidelong. At this point, y'all do notice he does have a blue triangle on his forehead. And he says, Razan C is my master. And he just kind of looks at you and waits to see if that connects anywhere in your beautiful Austrian skull. No, that's great. That's perfect. I love how the most charismatic member of the party is also the dumbest. Uh, and the snake man just looks at you like, what? You live in a society that is largely feudal. This question doesn't even make sense to the snake man. He's just like, what? He says, it just makes half of us laugh for 5 minutes. And so, uh, he looks at you and just says, sure, nope, don't have to follow him anymore. Well, what are you going to do? Okay, are you looking at them or touching them? They appear to be dead. The snake kind of looks at you. You get Snake Man side eye. He's like, no, this is the temple of the Oracle. To see what power we could get from this temple. He looks around the room and realizes that yes, he is in fact actually the only Yuan-Ti here, and he says, yes, I came alone, and he is not telling you the truth, and you can tell that. No, you don't even need an insight check. He's just lying. He's just straight up lying to you. Mazzata looks around. He's very uncomfortable, but he doesn't see a way out of this. And he's like, there were 4 more when we entered the temple. We split up. I don't know where the rest are. Do you? And the snake just kind of the snake man looks at you, just deadpan, and he's like, I've had a good 3 weeks to think about that. You think I'm not aware of the deficiencies of our exploration strategy? And he just kind of shudders when you say that. Just shudders to himself, remembering being unable to move for 3 weeks. I mean, at this point, the bigger question is, to what purpose? He is literally surrounded by 2 bears. Fair. Evil is as evil does, okay? Probably fucking annihilate them? Total or each? Yeah. Okay. I mean, he literally can't go anywhere right now. You have him figuratively, literally, metaphysically, philosophically boxed in. He just kind of goes. He just snorts at you like, we don't have villages. And then he realizes, somewhat belatedly, that was maybe a stupid thing to say. And he's like, we we live in the the and he's just like trying to lie and failing, and can't come up with anything. He can't come up with anything. He's like, Omu, we live in Omu. That's And he just kind of looks at you like, the what? And he is not lying about that. Um, you say soulmonger, and he just doesn't fucking know what you're talking about. I mean, I don't want to die, um, but I haven't really thought about it a whole lot. Just, and again, you get the impression that this guy's maybe not the brightest ever. Like you say death curse, and he is like, death curse, bad, not good, no good. But he has not had significant thoughts about the actual mechanics or anything about the death curse. Do you? Nah, that's fine. Like, does anybody here know anything about Yuanti? No, not in character. Out of character, I'm sure you know plenty about Yuanti and who they are and what they want. Okay. Was that? When did you do an 18? An 18 what check on Yuanti? Um. Okay. I mean, you could, if you really want to, you could try a religion check. And I'm going to say it's a pretty high DC, but if you pass it, you'll learn some stuff. $18, okay. So, you do know that you want to worship a pantheon of greater and lesser snake and serpent gods, and you're pretty sure that one of the goals of Yuanti religion is to either become a snake god of some sort or summon one that will wreak havoc on the world. And there is no such thing as a natural born Yuanti. You have to become a Yuanti. Oh, they have societies, sure. Hobgoblins have societies, as do goblins and kobolds and all sorts of things that are generally not good. No, There is no there is no such thing as a natural born Yuan-Ti. They are literally fundamentally corrupted by worship of serpent gods. That is how they work. And Sebastian may tell me I'm wrong later, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Yeah. So yeah, the short version is, yeah, you become one. Or I guess in theory you could have been raised from birth and have orange-blue morality, right? But like, that's probably way more into the philosophy of world building than we need to go right now. Yeah, they're evil. Like, just like some other things that we have faced, they are straight up unambiguously evil. In a way that even like evil player characters are not. They are just biggie. Never saw it. That landed like my Zelda reference. Oh, okay. No, real Zelda. God damn it. So, what y'all doing? You guys haven't been through either of those two doors. No, you haven't. You did not go all the way down that hallway. That was when I asked Sarah if that was the way he was going, and he said, oh no, I'm going the way everybody else is going. No, Sarah, there's no traps. That door is not locked. So if you pop yourself on the other side of the door, just to reveal the territory a little bit, just because that makes describing things easier, there is a... okay, hold on. I'm trying to do a couple different things. Arm, I want you to make a wisdom saving throw at some point while I describe this room. So, along both sides of the corridor, deep in shadows, human figures appear to be floating above the floor. As you approach, you see the figures are seemingly suspended in the air, are actually withered corpses standing upright on ledges 2 feet above the floor. So those are corpses floating on a ledge above the floor. Arm, what was your saving throw? Yes, a wisdom saving throw. You failed. So the Yuan-Ti says to you in just an incredibly persuasive sentence that he really thinks that you should go have try that powder in the cup on the table in front of you. And you think that this is a fantastic idea. Sure. What did you roll? Nope, you didn't notice a damn thing. No, I'm just gonna say with that terrible roll, no, you can't really do anything. So Arm, you go and you pick up that crystal flask, and you just you kind of pick it up and upend it and put the crystal dust into your mouth. Let's see here. And then as you do that, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. This is to offset his other rolls. Okay, so yeah, you take 8 damage, and you fall down unconscious on the floor. So Arm. Yeah, I mean, sure. And the Yuan-Ti takes that moment to constrict himself around Armorine and hold his claws to his neck as Armorine is passed out, and tells you all to back the fuck off. And I think that is a good place to end the session tonight.